Hey guys, welcome back to the continuation part in phone call scenario. So we'll do this project continuation. The whatever we have stopped in the previous video, we're going to look into the continuation part. So do check this video and as well as if you haven't checked the previous video, then do check the video and then come back here so that you can get some more clarity, like what we actually where we actually stopped in the previous video and then now what we're actually doing it. So yeah, that's it. So watch the video. The structure everything I'm going to get from the like the thing we already have done, so I don't want to waste the time with this thing like writing the same thing. So I'll just get that. I have copied and paste the structure for the dial pad. So what are the dial pad that we want to printing out? So I have got this dial pad, like I just copied from my previous as I shown you before. I've already created it, so I just copied from there and then I just pasted it out. So I don't want to do the this designing and all, like I don't want to waste the time with this. So this is what I have built a structure. So same thing, there is nothing much. So I'm just printing the star. I have used the asterisks and then these vertical bars or what or symbols, whatever it, maybe you can call it any either way. And just printing out 4, 5, 6 and then 7, 8, 9. And then here also what I'm going to do is like I'm printing 10 first of all. Num of first of all here I'm printing the num of 10. So it means so this is up to 11 that we have, and then so it means asterisk what we are first printing out, and then the num of 0 that we are printing, that is 0, nothing but 0. And then the hash, so same thing, I'm just creating the same structure how we have in our dial pad. So I'm just doing the same thing. So now we finished to print the dial pad structure. So let me get it in this, let me call that particular structures in that particular dial function. So let me call it dial pad. I'm going to call the same function that we have created it. So I'm going to call it, and then here I'm going to do is what I'm going to do is here I'm going to ask the user to enter the phone number, because the user want to call to the position. I'm just asking him to enter it. So I'm going to enter. I'm asking to enter it, and then I'm going to store it inside the. Here what I'm going to do is, so let me tell you one thing here. So yeah, so here I'm going to use the like with the data type with I'm going to create a one variable with the name of phone, but I'm not using the common int here, because why I'm not using it, because when it comes to phone number, it's a 10-digit number. Maybe it will start from 9 or 8, whatever it may be. But when it comes to integer, it won't store that much of level, because that's a, so as I shown you already, like when we actually talk about the data types. So if you haven't, yeah, I don't know whether you guys remember it or not. Let me show that as well once again. So here, yeah, Greek for Greek. So yeah, when it comes to Greek for Greek, so when it comes to integer, so this is the range that we have it. So we can only store our numbers up to this particular range. So we can't go furthermore. So that's the reason I'm not using the int here. So what other than that, what I'm going to do is long int here. So that's what I'm using. Even more digit you can also use this unsigned long int. So I'm not using unsigned long. I'm just using long int. That's enough for me. It's taking 8 bytes. And then the format specifier for the long int is percentage LLD. So I'm just using this format specifier. So we already explored this data types in our previous videos. So I don't want to explore more about it. So if you haven't checked the video, please do check the video. Then so let me move on to this thing. Yeah. So now I'm going to create it also globally. So let me write it as a long int, and I'm going to create it as a phone number equals to first for first time. I'm just initializing as a 0. If you, even if you want, even it's not an issue, but if it's not initializing any other value, means that going to be a garbage value going to be stored inside this particular long int phone number, that going to be stored in like a garbage value. So you can store the garbage value that going to be like somewhat negative, and it going to be like too much. So that going to be some, might be some errors, like some cases, not be regularly. So yeah, that's all about it. So let's use this particular phone number here. So let me use it. As I shown you in the Greek for Greeks, the format specifier for it is LLD. So let's write the same thing here. I mean, for calling the function, I mean, the storing the phone number here. The what are the user enters here. So I'm going to store it inside the phone number variable. Phone number. I'm going to store it inside the phone number variable using a long in data type. So let's begin with it. So that's what I have done it right now. So we are calling the dial pad and then we are getting a call and then we are just creating some structure of dial pad and then we are taking input from the users of the number and then we have done in this way. So now we have to call to the some other person, right? Once we uh, type the number and then we have to call the person, right? Isn't it? And let me call to that person so that we have already, yeah, we have we have used like, yeah, as I mentioned here, I want to use a call function here. So I don't want to use any such different names. And even this is a good practice to use such names like whenever you use some functions or any variables or anything, it's better to use some readable function name so that everyone could understand what exactly you're doing with. So that there will be clarity for everyone. So that's what everyone expect you from as a good programmer. So now, void call then. Here I'm going to mention a calling. So I'm going to mention a calling and then calling. I'm just putting in some dots here, the random dots. Whenever we call it, this is what we have to display here, there, and then now what we're going to do is this is what somewhat interesting here. When you actually call to some other persons, like if you call to some other persons or any other, like in a general way, like if you took a pay phone and then if you call to some other person, will it directly connect to or will it directly ring it? Like at least it will take some 2 or 3 seconds to get connected and just to ring the call, right? Isn't it? So what I'm going to do is here I just want to make some delay to actually print this particular thing. So here I also want to print after the calling. I want to print this thing ringing here. But one thing I want to do before it is before ringing, I want to make some delay to actually like to I don't want to directly get this ringing print as it is in my command output screen. I want to make some bit of delay here. I just want to stop somewhat time here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one more function called delay here with the name of delay. Is also user defined function. I'm going to delay. I'm going to create a delay function here. So what the function does and everything. Let's look onto here. This is the reason you have to use a function so that that going to be more clearly what actually you are using, and even if you someone actually radio code so that you they can actually understand if you structure your code with all the functions and everything. Yeah, so more readable, that's it. So now here what I'm going to do is, so here the somewhat you may also learn some functions like the some may or may not know. I don't know whether you guys may or may not experience with these functions. If not, you're going to learn a new thing. So let me tell that thing. So I'm going to create integer type and then I'm going to create a time here, time with a time variable name time and equals to, I'm going to initialize with the 0 here first of all. And then here what I'm going to do is time equals to, here I'm going to mention a random time here. I don't want to stop I don't want to stop this particular like once we print it out calling, and then I don't want to directly print the ringing. Right, I just want to make a delay, and even delay also. What are the delay? I want to make a time. I mean, I don't want to make a time exactly what if I given like 2 seconds or 6 seconds every time it's going to be keep on delay 2 3 seconds. I don't want to do in that way because even on a regular phone call scenario, we actually connect maybe it will connect some after 2 seconds or 5 seconds or maybe 10 seconds. So I don't want to just write hard coded here, so I don't want to do that thing. So I don't want to get. I will. What I'm going to do is like I'm going to get a random number. I mean, random time. I just want to print a random time here. Keep on printing a random number here, so that every time keep on printing the random time, so that you're going to get some. That going to be some kind of syncing to real time. So that's what I want to do here. So let me do it. Let me create a random time here for by creating a random numbers. So let me create a random number with a random time. So integer type random, and then I'm going to mention underscore time. This is also a function that I'm going to create because I don't want to create everything inside in a particular function. Everything I just use a function. So that's what I want to do. As a good programmer, it's better to practice by just doing with a different kind of functions. That could be better to more readable as well. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variables with a name 10 here, greater as a 10, and what I'm going to do is smallest as equals to 0. So here I'm going to mention not 0 exactly, I'll mention 1 because what I'm going to do is I want to print a random numbers in between 1 to 10. I don't want to keep on printing some other very very long numbers. I just want to do, but I just want to print 1 to 10. If you want, you can also make a changes in like 20 or something else. So I just mentioned one, and the smallest number is 1, and greatest number is 10 here. So here I'm going to generate a random numbers between 1 to 10, in between 1 to 10. So I don't want to go behind that. So what here what before what I'm going to do here, yes, rand is rand. So what is mean by rest is rand? So let me explain why I'm using s rand and then null here to actually work this particular function. We need to include one header file, that is inbuilt header file. So that is nothing but time.h. So here is the header file that we are actually including, and then this is the this is actually an build function. What exactly here we are doing is when we actually print some random numbers in Python or any other language, JavaScript, then you can actually get some inbuilt function. You can directly print a random numbers. But when it comes to C programming, as we know already, it's a very old language, so we have to do a lot of works here. So what I'm going to do, what that's the reason we're actually using this function as rand here, because it actually going to it's actually work like a passing our time. I mean, like for example, if our right now our time is like around uh, 7 p.m. in the evening, it's going to pass that particular time. It's going to work like that. No, not exactly like it's going to. I just want to make sure you understand it. It's going to pass the time, make sure it, and then it's going to when we actually generate our numbers, the random numbers, it keep on printing a new numbers. I'll also show you why that is mean, because without using this particular function, you're going to get a random number every time, the same number. You don't get some different random numbers. So I don't want to get the same number, right? So that's the reason I'm just using it. Without using this particular function, you won't get some the random numbers, keep on random numbers each and every time. So that's the reason we are actually using this particular inbuilt function. Actually, this function actually acts as a to keep on refresh our time. I mean, like whenever we print our time, and then once you print it, like before that it's going to pass out time, and then it'll print it, and then it's going to refresh the time, and then it's going to generate a new random number. Actually, when you actually create a random number, it will keep on printing the same number, but we actually what we with this time function, we're actually generating the new numbers, like we refreshing our time based on time. It actually the generating the random time, keep on generating the random. So that's what it actually works. Let me generate random number and then store it in R. So R is nothing but a random. So here what I'm going to do, rand here. So this is the function to actually generate a random number. So this is also inbuilt function which we got from the C programming, and so this is a rand function. So we can actually use this particular function. And then here what I'm going to do, percentage. Actually, when you actually just use this particular rand, then you can get output as a random numbers. That's not an issue. But the thing is, like, it will get from 0 to max size. It's going to keep on printing it. it may be infinite as well. So that's the reason we actually using a percentage b, and then we actually want to print this particular range. So we are mentioning the range as well. We don't want to print a very greater numbers. So I just mentioning the um, I just want to mention some within a range. I want to print it out. So greatest minus smallest plus one, and then plus smallest here. So this is a formula to actually generate a random number for a certain range. So whenever you get some random number like 10 or something, and we actually modeling that particular thing into greater minus small plus 1 and let's learn, so that we can get in that particular between the 1 and 10. So that's what I actually doing here with this formula. So yeah, that's what we're actually doing here. And even without this also, even you can do one more thing, like by mentioning like a 10, so that it will going to generate a numbers up to 10. But what they actually do is like, why I'm not using this particular thing. Okay, by just mentioning a 10 or 9, you can get the random numbers up to 10, that as you said, right? So you may ask me that, but why I'm using this much of lengthy code is because when you actually use particular 10 mention, if you particular mention that particular 10, what going to happen is it's going to generate a numbers from 0 to 10. So here we don't want to generate a zeroth number, I mean 0. So that's the reason we actually want to mention from 1 to 10. So that's the reason I have mentioned it. So if it's not an issue with 0, then you can go with mentioning some number, that's it. So I don't want to give a 0, so I just want to start from 1, so I don't want to do that. So here what I'm going to do is this seconds I'm going to convert into milliseconds here. Milliseconds. I'm going to convert into milliseconds. 1 second is equal to 1000 milliseconds. So I'm just multiplying into 1000, and then I'm going to store it inside milliseconds. So here this actually milliseconds, I'm going to declare it. um, yeah, I'm going to declaring it so that I can easily use it right now. So now I'm going to return this milliseconds. So whenever we actually call this particular function, we're going to everything going to calculate it, and then we'll just return milliseconds. For example, if it is a 5 seconds, then it's going to return as 5000. For example, if it is 10 seconds, then it's going to return as 10,000. So we're actually converting into milliseconds. So 1 second is equals to 1000 milliseconds. So that's what we're actually doing here. So now, whenever we actually delay this particular thing, we want to get a time. Uh, we want to generate a random time. So I'm just generating a random time, and then I'm storing inside a time here. So I'm storing it inside a time here. So now what I'm going to do, this is what we actually needed. This is also one of the, like, this is also going to be somewhat interesting here. Clock underscore t. So it is the clock underscore t is nothing but it's a data type for storing a clock time value. So this is what is nothing but a data type. So here I'm going to mention is a start time, and then clock here. Clock function, I'm going to mention it. So here, what I'm going to do, the clock function is nothing but we'll get they will actually be going to get the starting time. I mean, starting time in the sense we're going to get this particular, by using this particular function, we're going to generate a 0 0 0. I mean, the all the zeros going to generate. So that's what I'm going to get an output. Actually, I'm going to print it out and let me show with this as well because that could be confusing for you if I just keep on saying orally. So I don't want to do that as a. So this clock is nothing but zeros, three zeros, or else you can say zero. It's nothing but zero. It's kind of, it work as a stopwatcher. If you start whenever you want start a time in a stopwatcher, you're going to start from the zero, right? So the same thing I'm setting here. I want to start my clock from zero. So when you call this particular function, this is also this clock function is also included in this time only, time.h. So when you actually call this particular function, uh, everything going to get it from a you're going to start from a 0 seconds. So once we start from the 0 seconds, it will storing from the start as a start time. So here I'm going to mention a clock less than start time. So what are the start time that we have? A plus and the time. So what are the time that we actually getting from a random generating a random number? So that's what we actually storing inside a time. So for example, the random number is generating a 5 seconds. Then it's going to convert into milliseconds, like a 5,000, and the 5,000 are going to store it inside the time. So and then this is going to be replaced by. Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. And the continuation part you're going to watch in the next video. So no need to worry. So do watch that video as well, so that you're going to get some more clarity about like the entire program going to be happen in that video as well. So do check that video as well. So thank you for watching. If you like my work, please do like, share, and subscribe to CoFocus. And if you like this kind of projects, do let me know in the comment section, so that I can also make this kind of projects more and more in the coming videos as well. And even if you have any other ideas like this kind of things, then also do let me know in the comment section, so that I can also make those kind of ideas by picking those ideas, and then I'll make as a code format, and then I'll come up with the code. So yeah, if you have those kind of things, and also let me know in the comment section. Yeah, thank you for watching.